The Padres. Breaking sports news as it happens. I'm Deb Carson.
This is the 80s Show on iHeartRadio. Let's start the show. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Say ho, ho. Say ho, whoa, ho, whoa. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
All right. Good morning. How the hell are you? Hopefully, you're looking over your shoulder a little bit. Whether it be in your place of work or just out in the open, or hopefully you're a person that's always on alert in some way, shape, or form. I mean, you shouldn't be walking around like a bomb ready to go off at all times. But you know what? As you move through your day, especially in your place of work, doing whatever it is you do to help make the world go round, you should be a little bit wary. You should be looking out of the corner of your eye at some folks. Why? Because if you're doing things right, there's a chance that you stood up for something that was right, that other people weren't on board with. Maybe doing things the right way in your place of business involved extra work for everyone. Oh, man, but if we dot all our T's and cross all our I's and treat people the right way, that's going to take more of my time. Or, we're not going to make the most money if we do things this way. Yeah, but it's the right way to do things. Hopefully, you've stood up for something at some stage in the game. Hopefully, on a matter of principle, rather than just going with the crowd, rather than going with whatever form of good old boy politics pervades the office place in which you work. Whether that office place is outdoors, inside, wherever the hell it is you go to make a crust. Or maybe it's, dealing with some sort of company. Maybe it's dealing with the place where you get your electricity. I don't know. Maybe it's dealing with something outside of you. Any place in this world where people conduct business, where money changes hands in order to make more money. That's where people become devoid of principles. It's an interesting one. America is a land of principles. It's founded on principles. But you find those principles being adjusted for the almighty dollar on a regular basis. In fact, sometimes you see those principles being built around what makes the almighty dollar. And what's interesting about making money, what's interesting about all things really, is that, well, the further back from it you get, the more distorted it gets, the more abstract it gets. While you're in it, while you are dealing with people one-on-one, it's really easy to stay focused. You pull back, you start thinking of people as numbers. You pull further back, you start thinking of a company as being a number. Entire companies get wiped out on a regular basis. And that's part of the beautiful, terrible jungle that is a free market economy. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But the further back you get from whatever it is you're involved with, the more distorted things become. And you have this sense of thinking in abstracts when you're in charge, or when you're pulled far back from it, that somehow doesn't take into account human beings. Maybe it's wars. I mean, look, if we treated ISIS the way we treat diseases, we would say this is a cancer. It needs to be wiped out. Sure. I mean, he's going to lose his entire leg, but at least he'll be cancer-free. By that logic, we would go and wipe out entire nations. And we are capable of doing that, believe you me. But we don't, or at least hopefully we don't. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, there was some collateral damage on that stuff. But we were pulled out far back enough to look at the whole situation and be like, it's necessary to wipe these things out. Now, you pull back in and you deal with your daily life in your workplace, your place of business. And that attitude of not recognizing people, not recognizing the humanity that we are all indebted to, that make us what we are. That attitude of people with a distorted view that are looking at things from on high often trickles down and permeates the one-on-one conversations you're going to have and the one-on-one dealings you're going to have in any place of business, in any place where money is exchanged to make more money. And for that reason, because this rather abstract attitude that doesn't take into account every single human life involved, for that reason, because that attitude pervades, it's so important that there's people that remember their humanity, remember the principles on which they want to live. Don't go with the crowd. Don't go with the good old boy politics. Don't go with glossing over, crossing the T's and dotting the I's. They pay attention to detail. And when they see things going wrong, when they see things being done from a standpoint that forgets our humanity, the only thing that makes us better than animals, the only thing that makes us better than ISIS, the only thing that makes us better than people willing to kill in mass numbers. When you stand up for that, when you stand up for a sense of humanity in whatever sort of dealing you are taking part in, no matter how big or how small, when you stand up for humanity, forget left, right, R&D, it's not that issue. When you stand up for humanity, us as a race, us as a species, you're doing something that's really, really good and increasingly rare. And it's also going to put people's noses out of joint. So remember this. You have enemies? Good. That means you've stood up for something sometime in your life. Winston Churchill.
Haven't had much go right in a while. Haven't had much of a reason to smile. Haven't had many things go my way. Haven't had many sunny days. Haven't had many things go right. But I've had so many sleepless nights. Nothing ever seems like it will be half of what I hoped it would be. So just this one time, please let things go my way. So just this one time, please let it be a better day. So just this one time, please don't let anything go wrong. So just this one time, please let me sing a happy song. Never wanna get my hopes up high, and I can't fail if I don't try. So I won't get up and I'll stay inside. Things are so much better when I hide, and it's so much easier in this place, 'cause it keeps me here and it keeps me safe. But if I get up and try again, it would be so nice just once to win. So just this one time, please let things go my way. So just this one time, please let it be a better day. So just this one time, please don't let anything go wrong. So just this one time, please let me sing a happy song. If I get up again, it would be so nice just once to win. Back once again, the ill behavior, delivering and giving your music a savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD, and can't nobody rock a body better than me. Back once again, the ill behavior, delivering and giving your music a savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD, and can't nobody rock a body better than me. Hey, you, what's that sound? I'm coming so loud from your radio dial. AD, be getting down when you're rocking the jams. Here I am, going back once again. I'm ruling all city like a king.
So I'm kind of surprised it's taken this long, but it's been confirmed. The Pope is on ISIS's hit list. The Pope, as someone who stands up for not just Catholicism a belief in God in general, Christianity, religion. The Pope is someone who stands up for humanity, is a clear enemy of anyone like ISIS. So I'm kind of surprised that it's taken this long to define that and to identify that he has been made a target. But we'll get into all that a little bit later on. Right now, though, Funkhouser, how are you? What is going on in the world?
You know, things are good. I don't really have any news.
You found some seeds.
I always forget what happened the night before, though. So yeah. You know, it's tax time, sort of, and I don't want to be a last minuter like I did last year. So I'm going through my important paperwork, and I found some seeds that I bought online a while ago. I don't know how they got. What kind
of seeds? Perhaps we should clarify.
Oh, bell pepper seeds for my garden.
Yeah.
And
do you? Being a resident of California, do you have a medicinal marijuana card?
I do.
Do you use that often?
Nah, not really. I mean, not really.
You don't really seem like a pothead.
I'm not really.
I don't know why. Like, how often would you suppose you...
Oh, it's just for special occasions and stuff, you know, when I have, like, friends over, if I'm planning a weekend.
When you have glaucoma on special occasions.
Days that end in Y.
Right. What was your reason? Like, what is your medicinal? What is your form of distress?
Sleeping problems. I had insomnia. I couldn't sleep. Needed stress reliever.
Does pot actually help you do that?
I mean,
like you personally?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it depends on how much you have, I guess.
Yeah.
Everything will knock somebody out.
I don't know. Like, I've been a lifelong insomniac. Like, and the one thing that really sort of helped eventually was getting a new bed, new mattress. Like, I work with, I'm not even being paid to say this, but I work with this furniture company called Jerome's, and they have this thing they do. They're kind of like opticians, where they go, you know, glass 1, glass 2, glass 1, glass 2. You know, when you go get your eyes tested. They kind of do the same thing with mattresses, and they have, like, all these mattresses, and they help you whittle it down and find, like, the right mattress and the right pillow, and they know enough to look at the curvature of your spine and stuff, and, like, F me if that hasn't 100% changed my ability to fall asleep at night. It's pretty incredible.
I did the same thing. New bed.
Yeah, that'll do it. Especially if you're like me, and, like, the last... Furniture for me was kind of an interesting concept. Like, the last bed that I bought, I think was like, you know, fell off the back of a truck, and it cost like $250 or something like that. And I thought it worked, you know, for years, and then I realized, hey, that thing was a piece of crap after I got on a big boy adult bed, and that really helped. But back in the day when I used to smoke pot, that would never put me to sleep. It just, I would take one hit and my mind would go off in 8 million different directions, as if the carnival in my head wasn't loud enough to begin with. Like, that would amplify the to like a million times. It was just like crazy, and it's just
Once you have your card, you have more of a selection, and you can pinpoint exactly what kind will make you sleep better.
Right. Yeah, I guess that's part of it being legalized. It's not just randomly scoring whatever from, you know, somebody in the parking lot. It's sort of, it's different medicinal strains grown for different things. And, like, what is it? There's sativa, and what's the other one?
Indica.
There's indica and sativa, and one will produce sort of like that thing that makes your mind shoot off in all these different directions, and the other one will help you mellow out. And some apparently helps you focus, right?
Yeah.
What's the kind that helps you focus?
I don't remember. I always confuse the two.
Right.
But one's like coffee, keeps you awake, and one is the sleepy time.
Yeah. I don't know. I out of all the different types of pot I tried back in the day, including stuff that some homegrown that someone sold me once, which was like super cheap because it didn't really do a whole lot of anything. Like, it's always just increased any level of thought activity and paranoia in me. And I just, I enjoyed it sometimes, but it would never be something that I would do to fall asleep. But I have so many friends that have like sworn by it as a sleep aid. Like I've had insomnia since the 3rd grade, hadn't really gotten a normal night of sleep since I was about 8 years old. And all my friends were like, just smoke a joint before going to bed, man. And I did. And it never worked. Never, ever worked.